What if I told you that a yawn can spread through a room faster than a rumor? In fact, just hearing the word yawn or seeing someone do it might make you feel the urge yourself. Strange, right? Scientists call this contagious yawning, and it doesn't just happen to humans. It's been observed in animals like dogs, chimpanzees, and even wolves. For years, people thought yawning was simply your body's way of getting more oxygen, but the real explanation appears to be far more surprising. Researchers believe contagious yawning is linked to empathy and social connection. When you see someone yawn, parts of your brain involved in understanding and mirroring other people's actions become active. It's almost as if your brain automatically copies what it sees without asking permission. That's why you're much more likely to catch a yawn from a friend, family member, or someone you know well than from a complete stranger. But that's only part of the mystery. Some scientists think yawning may also help synchronize group behavior. Imagine our ancient ancestors sitting around a campfire. If one person became tired and yawned, others might start yawning too, helping the group prepare to rest at roughly the same time. In a way, a yawn could have acted as a silent signal that kept communities coordinated. And here's where things get even stranger. Studies have found that simply thinking about yawning can trigger one. You don't need to see it happen. Your brain can create the urge all by itself. In fact, there's a good chance you've already yawned while listening to this. If you did, that means your brain just responded to an action that never actually happened in front of you. To understand this deeper, scientists started looking not just at yawning itself, but at how the brain processes imitation. Humans are wired to learn by copying. From childhood, we mimic facial expressions, hand movements, even emotional reactions. This ability helps us understand others without needing words. Contagious yawning may simply be a side effect of this powerful imitation system. When one person yawns, your brain briefly simulates that action internally, almost like running a preview, and then your body follows through without you realizing it. It's not just copying, it's unconscious synchronization. Interestingly, not everyone is equally affected by contagious yawning. Some studies suggest that people with higher levels of social awareness or emotional sensitivity are more likely to catch yawns. Others may barely react at all. This has led researchers to believe that yawning could be quietly linked to personality, emotional intelligence, and even brain structure. Certain regions of the brain, especially those connected to social processing, appear more active in people who are highly susceptible to contagious yawning. This means your reaction to a simple yawn might reveal more about your brain than you think. Even more fascinating is how early this behavior appears in life. Human babies do not show strong signs of contagious yawning. They may yawn when tired, but they don't typically catch yawns from others until they are a bit older. This suggests that contagious yawning is not purely biological. It may be something the brain develops as it learns to understand social environments. In other words, your ability to catch a yawn might grow as your brain becomes better at understanding other people. Animals add another layer to this mystery. Dogs, for example, are known to catch yawns from humans, especially from their owners. This suggests that the connection is not limited to human-to-human interaction. It crosses species boundaries, possibly because of emotional bonding. When a dog yawns after seeing its owner yawn, it may not be about sleepiness at all, but about emotional synchronization. It reflects how deeply communication can go beyond language, relying instead on shared behavior patterns. Some researchers even suggest that yawning might serve as a primitive form of group alignment, something that predates modern communication. Before language fully developed, early humans relied heavily on body language and shared emotional signals. A contagious yawn could have acted like a biological reset button, bringing multiple individuals into the same state, ready to rest, ready to move, or simply emotionally aligned. Over time, even as language evolved and societies became more complex, this ancient reflex may have remained embedded in the brain. There is also a curious psychological angle. The more you try not to yawn, the more likely it becomes. This happens because your brain becomes hyper-aware of the action. Once the idea of yawning enters your consciousness, your neural circuits begin simulating it repeatedly. It's similar to how thinking ab